Welcome to Arcadia, Oklahoma. I am here at Pops, which is just down the street from the main part of town. Pops is it's a lot of things. It's a gas station, it's a convenience store, it's a restaurant. It's kind of a cool place to hang out. And also this big pop bottle right behind me that lights up at night is pretty cool. I've seen it before at night, so we'll come back here later and check that out, but let's go check out the rest of Arcadia. Arcadia has a little bit of a different downtown than a lot of the previous towns I've profiled. Not as many buildings all right in a row, but it also has a different kind of history. It is located right here in the middle of the state of Oklahoma in Oklahoma County, and it's basically on the northeast side of the Oklahoma City metropolitan area. It was established soon after the land rush that occurred in 1889 in Oklahoma, and it drew both black and white farmers to this area. And in 1890, a post office was established, even though that was not an incorporated town at the time. It was named after the Greek town of Arcadia. The Missouri, Kansas, and Texas Railroad built a line through here in 1902, and the railroad passed just south of the town site. It thrived in its early years as an agricultural area. It's near the Deep Fork River, and in 1907, the population was said to be 994. The original incorporation of the town happened in the early 1920s, but then a large fire in 1924 destroyed much of the downtown area. In 1927 to 1930 is when Route 66 was being built, and so that helped the town, helped it survive. And even though it was a smaller town than it probably originally was, it was able to serve the passengers that were heading west from Chicago to California. And it continued as a pretty small town. In 1974, a flood destroyed the main railroad tracks that carried passengers, and so when that happened, that was basically the end of passenger transportation along the railroad through Arcadia. At some point, it must have been unincorporated. I don't know exactly when. I do know they said a lot of the records were lost in the 1920s, probably in the large fire. It was self-governed for a period of time, and voters resisted reincorporating the town. In 1980, they actually voted not to reincorporate. And then Edmond, which is the next town over, tried to annex this area of Arcadia into Edmond. As a result of that, the people of Arcadia decided to incorporate, and in 1987 it officially became the town of Arcadia again. In the first census, it was counted as 320 people. That has since been cut in about half to the population of 169 today. It's a very easy place to visit if you're ever in Oklahoma City, just a short drive, and there's definitely a lot to see here in Arcadia. just a little bit east of Arcadia, just down the road just a little bit, is John's Place. It's a very unique place. I had this on my channel, and the first time I came through here was on Route 66 a couple years ago, and so it's unfortunately closed. I'm here pretty early in the morning, and you know, the hours are sporadic in places like this along Route 66, but it's certainly a very cool place to check out. You can just see behind me the few things that are kind of out from the road you can see here, but they have a lot of cool nods to Route 66 along the way, different things that you would see along Route 66 he's done artistically here. He's got a garage full of stuff, so I highly recommend, if you're in Arcadia, try to add John's Place to your visit. Certainly probably open more in the summer than it is in the winter. We are back at Pops, and it is a little different. Let's check it out. So let's go in and get some food and see what else they got at Pops. So Pops is a fun place to stop on the definitely the end of the day here in Arcadia. Kind of cool that it has, you know, a lot of Route 66 nods to history in there, even though this is not a Route 66 place. You know, this wasn't open way back in the day, but they have a lot of cool stuff to check out. Got me a t-shirt. Look for that in a future episode. And but you can get in there. The whole thing about the Pops is you can get like a carton and get different flavors, and you can take like a 6-pack of pop and you can try out all kinds of different flavors. So I'm not a pop guy necessarily, so spent my money on the t-shirt and the food and shake, which were both really good. So so yeah, Arcadia, Oklahoma, several things to do and check out. So a great small town USA subject. I've always been a single guy, never married, but if I was ever going to get married, I would have it right here. Awesome. This is a cool barn. And this structure behind me, oops,